Hi, so in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the concept of second fear. This is a term that was coined by Dr. Claire Weeks, and I think this could be the key to getting free of your fear of panic attacks. So this is a term that I came across in one of her books. I have read the book Hope and Help for Your Nerves. You can pick up any of her books and read. More or less the concepts are the same. She's a pioneer in the field of anxiety and panic attacks, and I think it was reading her book and applying those concepts that helped me get over my fear of panic attacks. So when I came across the concept of second fear, initially, I understood what it meant. Conceptually, I understood, but applying it took some time. Now, when she says second fear, it is the fear that we feel or the feelings that we feel when we have any symptoms of anxiety. So, let's take panic attacks, only panic attacks. When you get a panic attack, you feel the surge of fear coming in, that feeling of warmth, that tingling sensation all over your body, heart rate increasing, and there is this moment, fraction of a second, where you can sense it coming on. What happens inside of you when you sense that panic attack coming on, where you sense it in that split second? How you respond is what makes a difference, and very often in my experience it will decide whether you'll actually go on to have a full blown panic attack or not. So when you sense those sensations coming up, that there's a panic attack now just about to start, and if you respond with a lot of fear that, oh my god, oh no, what is this happening, you get scared. You're like, no, 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 not right now, not right now, please, I cannot handle this. You go on scanning your body, or you are just frozen. You start already imagining, oh my god, how am I going to handle this? Will I need to go to the hospital? Is this a heart attack? Is this a panic attack? It's going to be so embarrassing. Should I tell people? Should I leave from here? Should I go home? Should I put an ice pack, etc., etc.? If you let your thoughts run in that direction, your response, this response of fear, is what second fear is. Now, you can add this second fear to your situation, either just when the panic attack is about to begin, or once it has begun, or any time when you're having any symptoms of anxiety. So let's say the panic attack starts, you're in the midst of it. Even then you can add second fear, and that will make the duration of the panic attack be longer. So once the panic attack starts, and then you are thinking that, what if this is a heart attack? What if I'm going to collapse? What if this is something more serious? What if it's not a panic attack? What should I do? I'm so embarrassed. I'm so scared. I need help. Then you are adding second fear. And the more second fear you add to your situation, the worse your anxiety symptoms will be. The longer your panic attack will last, the longer will be your panic attack hangover. That is that feeling of just unease or restlessness after the panic attack is over. So when I read about this concept, I kind of understood it. But when you're in the thick of anxiety and you're having so many physical symptoms, it becomes difficult to just immediately apply this. But it's good if you have symptoms still, and if you are still having panic attacks, because it gives you an opportunity to apply it and to practice what you've learned. Because you can only practice this when you are in the thick of it, when you are having a panic attack, when you are having anxiety symptoms. So initially, when I was first having my panic attacks, there were a lot of hacks that I was trying: ice pack, splashing water on your face, going out and walking in grass, humming, trying and listening to some soothing music, breathing, messaging a friend that, I'm having a panic attack, can you talk to me, can you be there with me? So these are the things I was doing. These were all hacks. While I was doing this, I later realized in hindsight that all of this was adding second fear, which is why my panic attacks used to last for 45 minutes. And sometimes I was having a panic attack in the morning, then in the afternoon, then in the evening, then at night. It was crazy. Those were crazy times. And When you're having panic attacks so frequently and that are so intense, even the time in between feels like a long panic attack because of the panic attack hangover that I just mentioned. So when I read about the second fear and I understood and I began to apply it to my situation, I tried to start accepting it, but it didn't come easy because I thought that I was accepting it. But what I was actually doing is I was accepting it in scenarios where it was comfortable for me to accept, and in scenarios where it wasn't. There I was distancing myself and going and shutting myself in the room and just waiting for the panic attack to pass. So, what I started doing is first I decided that I'm not going to use any hack. The next time a panic attack comes, I'm not going to do any of the things that I will do. So, I decided I'm not going to message any friend, I'm not going to message anybody telling them that I'm afraid. I even decided I'm not going to tell my husband that I'm having a panic attack and can you just be there around, or I'm afraid or anything. I just decided to let it be. That was the first thing I did. No using any hacks, no ice packs, no humming, no splashing water on my face, no going out and walking. I just decided to not do any of those things. Was it easy? It wasn't easy, because when you're not reaching out for any of those things to distract yourself, then you're just sitting with those intense sensations, and it was very difficult. The first one or two times it was absolutely difficult, and I almost gave up and reached out for something. Okay, and it's fine. You may also do that. That's fine. It's not about getting it perfect the first time, and it's not about failing, it's about practicing, because we've practiced doing these things, we've practiced being anxious, and our body has learned, so you're practicing doing the right things. All right. So I then that was the first thing I did. I decided that I'm not going to use any of these hacks. Then I had to practice step 2, that is I had to do, as Dr. Claire Week saying, you continue doing whatever you would have done had the panic attack not been there. So if you were, let's say you were cooking, then you continue cooking. If you're in the middle of talking to somebody, you continue doing that. If you're out there taking a walk, you continue doing that. Whatever it is that you would have done had the panic attack not been there. Now this didn't come very easily. Again, it came with trial and error. So once I was outside and I was shopping, and I had a bout of dizziness, which was pretty intense, and I immediately freaked out. While I thought that I'm accepting it, and I'm going with not adding second fear, but the next thing I knew is that got into the car and I rushed back home, and I realized that oh heck, what am I doing? This is not accepting, this is running away and being in my safe space. So a better sense prevailed, and I immediately stepped out. While the panic attack was still on, okay, because it started with dizziness and it soon blew into a full blown panic attack. And while the panic attack was on, I decided to keep my phone aside and just go out and be out there, do whatever it is that I would have done had the panic attack not been there. So I bumped into some neighbors. I started chit chatting with them as I would have, as if I don't have any symptoms. The next time I had a panic attack, I was again out. I was out meeting some people, and the panic attack came, and I was able to continue doing what I would have done, meaning I continued functioning normally externally while internally the panic attack was going on. So it's not like, I was scared or I was like, oh my God, I'm just trying to be brave, but internally I'm dying because I don't know whether this is a panic attack or a heart attack. What I was just noticing the symptoms that, yes, it's happening. The heart rate is increasing, and that disgusting feeling of being enveloped by fear is coming on. And I just let it be. And amazingly, within a few minutes, I would say, the panic attack dissipated. It just went off. It didn't last long. My panic attack hangover was not there. And very soon I realized I'm not afraid of this. And you know what? When you're not afraid of this, you just stop having panic attacks, because then you're like, okay, now I know that even if I'm going to have a panic attack, because I do sometimes get palpitations or those feelings of anxiety, the fearful feeling, that feeling of dread, sometimes I do get that, but I'm just not afraid of them anymore. As far as my health goes, everything has been checked up and I know that I'm fine, so I'm not going to obsess over things. And so this is what basically adding second fear is. I hope I've been able to convey to you What adding second fear is, you if you can get your hands on Dr. Claire Week's book, please do that. It's called Hope and Help for Your Nerves. It can really make things better for you if you're dealing with panic attacks. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself.